we're going to be moving on to Dragon Shire here. No breaks today for these finals. We're going to be going straight away into the game, and that's what we like to see here. Best of 3, which means Troll and Blizz could walk away with the Creators of the Storm victory in game number 2. Dragon Shire, Hyper Carry. We said 1 Assassin, no Varian, no Specialists. This is quite the draft.
And just to always be specific, Assassins as defined by Blizzard. So I just make sure that we put everything on the table, so our Twitch chat knows what's up. But we are getting into potentially the last match of the evening. Now, granted, while we're kind of loading in here, getting ready for this game, let's talk about the potential of what a game 3 could bring us. We could be going to Infernal Shrines on a supportless game. That I feel like would be, the brawling that you get from there would be so interesting.
Yeah, so no supports. It's pretty much quick match. Or, as you were saying before, Silver Hero League, I guess.
Silver Hero. Well, you know what? There was right when voice comms came out, the first night, my first game, someone was just like, so we were all picking and stuff, and I was just like, all right, I can solo lane and blah 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 and this and that, and then we get through the draft and the last person just picks someone else. I picked a Samuro. I'm like, yeah, I thought you were a healer. They were like, they banned my only healer. I was just like, okay, well, here we go. This is going to be a fun little match. And I was like, all right, guys, let's just try our best. And then our Nazebo took the Gargantuan upgrade at 20, and I just lost my mind. He was at 175 stacks, 20 at 20, at level 20. I was just like, please explain to me why. Well, the cooldown reduction is really good. No, it's not. It's a trap talent. Someone said it in my Twitch chat that day. It's a trap talent. Never take it. Do the Vile Infection stacks, or just do the Vile Infection stacks. That's it.
All right, so it looks like we're going to be looking at Maiev and potential Hanzo ban. OP, being banned right away. Just, these are standard bans, right? These are completely standard bans. I don't know how well they are at hyper carrying, though, because, typically hyper carrying, we've seen Vala and Greymane, which are very auto attack eccentric heroes, right? So those are the heroes that you've typically been seeing. Maybe a little bit of Q poke here and there. But I mean, I guess Hanzo, in my mind, would kind of fit that a little bit more than Maiev. But as I was saying, if you pair Maiev with some crowd control, it's all you need, right? I mean, you've played Quick Match. I'm sure a lot of Twitch chat here has played Quick Match, and they know how horrifying Maiev can be without any supports. That means no cleanse.
My favorite
but we're in hyper carry, so
right. My favorite part actually about running Maiev and just kind of talking about things you can how well she works. Joanna Maiev is so annoying because you can utilize the condemn, and so because typically what people do, what I do now is if a Maiev uses the Umbral Tether, I'll just stay within the circle and just not get pulled. It's you see it go down, you just walk with it. But if you have a Joanna like me, you can be a jerk to everyone and literally use condemn in the opposite direction, so it does that. But we do, as you mentioned, getting into this draft, we the typical that we'd seen in the past, Vala looks like it's going to be the hyper carry, and they prioritized it pretty early, to be honest.
Yeah, I think this kind of shows the rest of your draft, to be totally honest. I mean, Vala typically pairs with heroes like Tassadar and heroes like Morales or Ariel. So, I mean, you're kind of setting yourself up for the other team to go, we don't want you to have one of these. Or maybe two. Maybe they're looking to take one of those or two of those heroes away from you. So whether or not picking up your assassin here right off the bat is a strong idea, debatable. I do like this Lucio and Blaze pick, however.
I will say that I the combination of these two so early into the game, that must mean that whoever is going to be playing their main damage on the side of Blizz Trollin, or Trollin Blizz, I keep doing it back and forth, and Trollin Blizz, I'm doing it back and forth.
Nexus Realm power heroes are on the left.
Right, no, I'm saying for Trollin Blizz, I really like the fact that he grabbed the Lucio Blaze so early. realistically, it's a strong core for them. It doesn't show too much of their draft. They can go dive, they can go control, they can play a slow game, they can play a fast game, they can rotate and go for picks. So there's a lot of really good versatility that they've started with on the side of Trollin Blizz. Now at the same time, Nexus Realm Power Heroes going into this ban phase, the way that I'm looking at this is I think you grab your main support. That's not what I was expecting at all. Like, I'm just kind of like, I was like, you grab your main support that pairs into the Vala, and then you pick up your tank or your solo laner, whichever you want to have. And I really like this so far, but the Brightwing is interesting to me. I don't know how I feel about that. Now, granted, they're probably going to be picking up a second healer.
Yeah, I'm expecting to see like double healer, double tank, single assassin. The Brightwing really catches me off guard, but it grants a second global. Now, I think with one global you're fine on this map. I think 2 globals kind of oversaturates your team. Now
at the same time, I have seen though, like you can, if you get to that point where it's like,
back.
You can split them and like you lose a team fight, but Dahaka makes it out. He burrows top lane. You've bought yourself, 20 seconds while the enemy team has to rotate, get the beacon, go back to the Dragon Knight, or, all that. He's very good at buying time on this map, and I really like him. The Brightwing is just interesting. I wonder if maybe they expect that they're going to need some sort of spell armor, and that might be part of it. I'm not sure.
It's interesting, but I do like this Tyrael ban coming out. We've seen a lot of Tyrael in competitive play. Overall, great hero after that rework that did come out not too long ago. So just a very strong hero currently. I think this is a solid ban. Grants attack speed, which pairs so well with Vala. And we're going to be seeing this Genji ban here. I don't necessarily count Genji as a hyper carry, but I mean, you can zip zap all over the place. You're picking up kills, but Genji into double tank, double support, especially a Brightwing, I wouldn't be wanting to pick that.
Yeah, the Genji is a little perplexing because there are a couple things that would just mitigate it. But granted, he can be an absolute nuisance, and the mobility he offers and maybe some dive or picking into that backline, maybe they're worried about the Brightwing being a little squishy, or they have something else planned that might be a little bit soft for them, or that Vala might not be as protected as expected. Not sure, but realistically, in these next 2 slots, I would expect it to be their main damage and probably I would say their main tank, and then they can kind of flex on. What do you flex on in this game? Maybe you pick your. I don't know. You pick up another support, your damage, and then you flex on your main tank. No, they're gonna grab the. Oh.
Yeah. See, this is what I was thinking. You can grab a DPS support, right? Things like Karazim, Rhaegar, Lily, yep. Those are things that you can pick up here. I expect water dragons, I think, especially with the break it down. Now, you could use the break it down to save a life and then pair that with the jugs as well. And you've got the 2 tanks here. So, I expect this Cocoon is going to be going out on Vala. If you get rid of Vala, you get rid of a lot of the damage so far. I'd like to see something like a... see, the problem is with Dahaka being the solo laner, you're still missing an actual tank, and you're going up against a Nubrak, because we can presume that Blizz will be the solo laner here. So you kind of leave yourself open to having either a squishier tank or no tank in the 4-man. So it's tough to say who they pick up here. I definitely expect another support, maybe a Rhaegar. I think they would fit pretty well. They're going to go Stitches Malfurion, however. This is a pretty standard combo, I would say.
I really like the combination that they've got. The Stitches into the Malfurion roots is a really good combination. Vala's got some CC on top of that. Brightwing's got a Polymorph. You've got a Tongue. A lot of good control on the side of Nexus Realm Power Heroes. And I think that's what they've got in their draft. They just got a lot of good control. Their entire draft is around 1 pick, and then that's how we win this. They don't need to win the team fight. They just need 1 pick, and that's how they will just dismantle Trollin Blizz. But on the same note, what is their damage? What kind of damage are they going to have to deal with in this situation? I mean, if you get a pull onto Blaze, he might just delay the fight out, and you have the rest of the team, or you have a Nubrak. You get a hook onto Lily, a Nubrak just burrows right in, jet propulsion from Blaze, Lucio boosts his way in as well, and you take a fight.
Now,
but what do you fight with is the question.
Yeah, I imagine we'll be seeing slam damage from Stitches, potential auto attacks out of Malfurion on the Celestial.
Oh my god.
Baha's reaction, you guys can't see it, but he's flailing his arms in the air, going all crazy.
I was like in my head, I was like, they're gonna pick a mage. I was like, there's no reason they'll pick a mage. And I was just like, okay, out of all the things that you're gonna pick, Kel'Thuzad? The guy, I mean, granted, you do have a bit of a late game compositionist. I mean, their entire team revolves around Kel'Thuzad stacking. Once that happens, that is where this game, I think, will 180. But that's experience, you know, versus burden of execution. This Kel'Thuzad could maybe never pop off. You never know.
I think the Kel'Thuzad is a very ballsy pick.
Yes, I agree. You're very confident.
Yes, it's extremely confident. I'm looking at this. Dahaka has a dive, damage immunity. Valla doesn't have anything. That is your main target. Okay, blow them up. Brightwing, Ice Block, Malfurion, Ice Block, Stitches, massive health bar, plus Spell Shield. I can't support the Kel'Thuzad.
But you never know. He could just pop off.
Yeah, it's a
That's
possibility.
The other thing. I mean, that's the thing is, like, when you look at it, you're like, mathematically, this versus this should win. And then you get to the game, you're just like, wait, what? Like, I've had games where, like, there's no support for me, and I'm just like, nope, well, we should win, or we should lose this, and then we win it. So 50-50. But let's get into this. On the left-hand side, we are going to be having the Nexus Realm Power Heroes with Ro on that Brightwing, DJ Tyrant going to be playing the Dahaka, Solid Jake on that Malfurion, Zexurus going to be playing the Stitches, and rounding it out with Flame G on the Valla.
All right, then over on the right-hand side in the red, we have Trollin Blizz. We got Gwaz on the Anubarak, Bags playing that Blaze, Alebeard on the Lily, Mystic Shroud playing that Kel'Thuzad, and rounding it all up, we have Rosai on the Lucio. We're going to see 4v5 in the mid lane right away. Stitches definitely looking for a hook, root, tongue, poly, combo. No hooks, no nothing right now. They're playing it safe, hiding behind that wave. Stitches going to need a hook or something. This is the bread and butter of this team. We do see the stun come out, though, onto the Valla. One root. We are at one stack. The big hook landing out onto the Kel'Thuzad. No follow-up route, unfortunately. Solid Jake a little short there, but Gwaz getting quite low. Gonna rely on the heals of Lily and Lucio, as well as the tap to try and top him off. Out comes another hook. Where's the root? No root to follow up, unfortunately. Again, a little late there. The bread and butter is going to need a little bit more butter to figure it all out here. A little bit more coordination.
The synergy will develop as the game progresses, potentially. But at this point, we're getting into this further and further. And these guys, I mean, this Kel'Thuzad I've seen him land a few abilities here and there. Should be able to stack up decently fast. But at the same time, we're going to be having, you know, Valla is going to be dealing a buttload of damage by the time he's already stacking up. So it's just one of those things, like, both teams have a lot of good late game value. And the other thing, too, to note here is that we have Blaze going up against Dahaka on top. I was about to say he's going to get some support from Lily, and maybe DJ Tyrant might be in a bad spot. But ALB are going to be staying in this mid lane with the Anubarak, making sure that they get this clear, soaking up the experience. And overall, I mean, this is starting to slowly kind of sneak away in favor for Nexus Realm Power Heroes. But at the same time, we're only at level 3.
Yeah, Mystic only sitting at a big ol' 3 stacks right now. And something interesting to point out is that Valla has opted for an auto attack build. So no Q. Big hook, though, onto Rosai. Valla chasing that very hard. Body block, though, coming out from none other than Kel'Thuzad. And going to be able to save that Lucio. Top is going to be contested, though, for the Shrine, trying to deny that cap as the bottom will be captured by the side of Nexus Realm Power Heroes. And now they're looking for a team fight here as Mystic does get rooted by Malfurion.
They do. They slowly just trying to play this back and forth, but it actually is going to go in favor for the members of Nexus Realm Power Heroes. I do believe the Dahaka versus the Blizz in top is kind of going a little bit back and forth here, as, I mean, this is going to be a forever fight. But in bottom, some chains going out, some roots going to be landing, but we actually have a Nubrak flanking here. Vala in a bad spot, going to be getting picked off, and that will be the first kill of the game, going over to Trollin Blizz.
Now Trollin Blizz definitely going to be looking for another pick here. The Stitch is getting body blocked into oblivion. Might not be able to find his way through. Great body blocks there by Rosai on that Lucio. Gua's positioning perfectly to deny the escape there from the Stitches. Down goes Stitches. Now we're looking at a third of the stacks being completed by Kel'Thuzad. So we're making our way. We're making our way. We're almost done here.
Bags here on a bad spot, trying to fight DJ Tyrant. There is the blind that goes out. Lily's here with the heals, but it's not going to be enough as DJ Tyrant will get the last auto. Nubrak, though, burrows in. DJ Tyrant not in the best spot. Brightwing trying to get out of there. Might have a little bit of a boost, but he burrows, and this might have just ended his life.
Yeah, unfortunately, DJ Tyrant going to get caught out here in that top shrine, trying to defend it with his life. Does defend it briefly. Does fall. This is not the best. It's going to grant a little bit of experience over to the opposing side, but the shrines are now being capped, and they're going to send Kel'Thuzad in. Big hook, though. Do we have a polymorph coming out? Does look like a little bit slower. Ton of damage, though, coming out from Shroud there as they're able to walk away. No big deal. Stitches with that spell shield going to be able to deny a lot of the damage. Vala coming in hard, though, looking for those auto attacks. Did pick up Creed of the Hunter at level 4, so definitely going to be looking to stack those auto attacks as soon as possible in this game and try and get up to 100 stacks just very quickly.
They're trying to get there. It's like that's the thing is, like, you know, just getting there and just getting to that power level is all that they're looking for. And both teams kind of have that exact same thing, is they just got to get to a certain point. Now in top, Blaze going to be fighting DJ Tyrant and Zexeris, and they're actually going to go ahead and control this over. But at the same time, Lucio boosted his way down, went ahead and capped this bottom, so there is no channel currently. But we do have Mystic Shroud trying to get that chain onto the Vala there. Won't be connecting, as we have the Unstoppable put onto the Anubrak, just trying to make sure that they get him out of there, so they don't want to be losing a member at this time. Meanwhile, though, just between Dahaka and Blaze and top, they're just back and forth, and it looks like that's just an even matchup. Overall, we're just going to be getting kind of a stalemate in a lot of our lanes.
Yeah, just a little bit of a poke damage coming in here in the mid lane, and then sending Stitches off into the bottom. We're going to have Lucio kind of poking him out. Just a little bit of stacking here for Mystic as well, trying to get as many of those stacks. But a big hook onto Mystic there in that bottom lane. He is a little low on mana, so he doesn't have anything to, help him get out of a sticky situation, as he's looking to try to just get as many stacks as possible, potentially throw him onto his little iceberg there, try and get a little bit of extra poke damage. Does get the poke damage onto Jake, though, but it's not enough to send the Stitches off of the point, however, as they're going to be making their way back in, potentially looking for another combo, but Rooted gets the Kel'Thuzad, and now Lucio also taking quite a bit of damage. Another big hook, though, onto the Kel'Thuzad, and he will be making his way back under the towers, as both of these shrines have now been captured by the side of Nexus Realm Power Heroes. But Vala just absolutely farming that Anubarak in the mid lane, gonna be able to pick up that kill, as Dahaka picks up the Blaze in the top lane with the help of Brightwing, and they're hungry for blood. They want that Lily, but DJ Tyrant not gonna be able to walk into the towers as he has no minions, and he's gonna back off.
So this looks like it's going to be 10s achieved for the members of Nexus Realm Power Heroes, as well as getting this Dragonite. So we have the Gorge being picked up by the Stitches. We actually have Blink Heal from the Brightwing, Twilight Dream from the Malfurion, Rain of Vengeance from the Vala, and Adaptation, correct? Isolation. I always mix the two together. Isolation is going to be coming out from that Dahaka. And with this 10 advantage and this Dragonite, they are looking to just take a lot of experience gain here and also try and push him. We still Stitches in bottom, Dahaka's in top. They've got a lot of good push pressure behind this Dragonite with the Brightwing and the Malfurion. I really like how they're playing this right now, making sure that Vala, when the Dragonite is over, has a lot of good support from the teammates to make sure that they get out. And if they do try and dive in, they got a lot of good assets with the Blink Heal as well as the Twilight Dream.
I like how the way that they're positioning, they're getting the soak in as many of the levels as they, many of the lanes as they possibly can, but I'm not too hot with putting Vala in the Dragon Knight. It's a lot of damage now missing. Definitely, you have a lot of other heroes that can go in there. You know, you're not missing anything if you get rid of one of your supports or one of your tanks. But you do have Dahaka coming in. Tongue just kind of completely whiffed as the Dragon Knight does fade. They're able to get the walls in the bottom and the middle lane here, as now we have Brightwing getting absolutely smoked out by Kel'Thuzad and the body blocks of Lucio and Blizz, and now they're looking to go in onto the Vala. The Vala did get cocooned. Do we have the follow-up stuns? Great silence, though, coming out from Jake, and be able to deny the engage of Anubarak. Out comes the Jugs and the Bro Shield as well. The dig as well onto the Dahaka. Dahaka, great dig. Going to be able to deny the damage of Kel'Thuzad and try to make his way into the fort. A ton of healing, but not enough. The roots are not enough to deny the engage. Out comes the bunker. It needs a little bit of a body block. Armor is always welcome. And just a little peace out. We'll see you later. Pick up a kill. Make their way into the defending, heal up, grab a camp, go back to soaking.
And that's exactly what they're going to do. They grab that kill into the Dahaka. That's big for them. They also go ahead and they had that snipe onto the Brightwing in that mid lane. That was phenomenal from the Kel'Thuzad just to get the Shadow Fissure like that. They'll go ahead and grab this camp, and at on the same time, Nexus round Power Heroes will do the exact same thing, as at this point they're just going to grab some lane pressure. Realistically, if they want to take a fight, now's the time to do it. Otherwise, they're going to have to kind of play it safe around that 13 talent tier.
Yeah, both teams, I think they just kind of play it safe until both teams reach level 13, and that's when they're really going to be looking for. They'll have that advantage for about a full level, so they want to, you know, invade a camp or apply some pressure to a team fight that, you know, doesn't look too great. But Gorge coming out in that bottom lane. Zexer is going to be picking up the Kel'Thuzad, so he's going to be taken down. Not before getting a stack at least, which is nice. Sitting at 24 out of those 30 stacks. Kel'Thuzad is nearly online. And Nubarak going in top lane trying to pick off the Dahaka. But this is just pretty much a wet noodle fight in that top lane. 2 tanks versus Dahaka. He will eventually lose that. We'll have to get off the point. And this means that the Shrine will go over to the side of Trollin Blizz here.
And so now that they're going to be holding this, Brightwing is going to be coming up. We also have the Vala here as well, just trying to poke out some damage. There are these 2 camps clashing in this top lane. The Mage will be out first on the side of Nexus Realm Power Heroes, but at this point, DJ Tyrant has the channel on this. We do have Stitches in bottom. Solid Jake is ready for this. They're trying to go for this as quick as possible, and they will grab this Dragon Knight.
I'd like to see this coordination. Absolutely just walking in easy peasy on that top Shrine. Grab it, no problem. Stitches on the bottom, has it already. And then you've got Malfurion in the mid lane, ready to cap it. The opposing team totally unaware, not even ready for it. And they're going to be able to grab that middle fort here. But 4 members defending the Dragon Knight, so it's already taken about 40% of damage, and it's only kind of got like a whack or 2 out onto the middle fort, which is not too much value here, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's it. Essentially the siege potential from this isn't too big, but another amazing hook from Zexerus, and they're going to go ahead and get the Gorge on the Kel'Thuzad, but there is the follow-up stun, not over the gate. Going to try and get another stack off on it, and it looks like Kel'Thuzad already has used his return. He wants to come back in this fight. Now, granted, during all this, there has been an experience advantage in favor for Nexus Realm Power Heroes, as we do have some split soaking happening from a few members, and they're utilizing Solid Jake and this Dragon Knight to push a little bit harder, make sure that they're going to get closer to 16s, and it makes it so much more difficult to take this fight. Now, granted, with Dahaka on top and also Blizz on top, they want to try and take this fight 4v4, 16 to 14, but it could be a little risky.
Yeah, we don't have Gorge up here, so this is a fight that could go either way. We do have Kel'Thuzad up. Still looking for those stacks as well. And 1 hook could be the difference here. Hook's going to land out on the Beetle. The cleanse comes out, however. Safety cleanse, we'll say. Heads up play. Trying to deny the hook. Gorge is now up, so they do need to be keeping an eye on that. Especially Mystic Shroud. Got to watch that positioning there. Make sure you're behind a minion. You're never safe with the Stitches around.
That is so true. I mean, there's so many situations where you're just like, and there's a hook out of the bush.
Yeah.
and then you're on the other side of the gate. So it's one of those situations where, especially with the 14 to, well, I guess 15 to 16 difference right now, definitely they're going to be trying to place a little bit safe. You see them already backing off. Kel'Thuzad trying to get some combos out on a couple of people. The Shadow Fisher comes out as well. A lot of damage coming out here. Vala trying to get some damage on a couple of these members. And we also have the Cup. Jug's going to be used with... Okay, so they're going to go and engage us, but a silence comes out, and they start to turn on the Troll Blizz here, and I gotta say, the Jugs there throw me really far off.
So the Jugs came out a little bit earlier than anticipated, I believe, and, ooh, I like that effect. Nubarak going high up into the sky there. But the Jugs come out a little bit early, in my personal opinion. Not getting too much of the heals that you'd really be looking for. Nubarak, not necessarily the best Gorge target, but does get Gorge there indeed. Wow, what a hook by Zexorus, just absolutely pulling that Kel'Thuzad in. He did finish the quest, thank goodness, but doesn't matter for his life. He's still going to fall there, and the shrines are going to be popping up. This will definitely confirm that bottom shrine and the bottom bruiser camp for the side of Nexus round power heroes. And then Dahaka versus Blizz in the top lane, forcing Blizz to actually tap here, and now Brightwing coming up. That'll guarantee them that that top shrine, and I expect either Vala or Malfurion to be making their way into the mid lane there, clearing up the wave, as well as looking to grab this Dragonite. We do see Vala making their way into it.
Once again, they're going to be grabbing this Dragonite on the side of the Nexus round power heroes, and that is so big for them. And the other thing to note on top of this is that they've got these camps pushing bottom lane. Granted, they're slowly being cleared, but you have the Brightwing and Dahaka in top lane, so they can come down to this fight at any point they need to. And I really like how they're playing this right now. They've got that hook could have been devastating, but it hits the gate. They're not able to get any sort of follow-up onto that. At this time, I mean, realistically, Kel'Thuzad is just trying to poke out with some of his damage. Brightwing does come in with the port, giving vision for the team, as well as some spell shield just to kind of counteract that. Kel'Thuzad, another hook going out, not going to be connecting. Once again, though, these guys are starting to push in. Jugs are going to be coming out from the Lili. Shadow Fisher coming out as well, not going to be connecting, as we do have quite a bit of damage coming out, but no actual bars falling too much. It's just it's a lot of good healing and a lot of heroics being used here. And I don't know what they can do besides just... Ooh, actually, Zexorus taking so much damage.
Yeah, Zexorus Stitch is going to have to make his way out, but not before they do grab that keep. Took him a while, but they did get it. Looks like the Dragon Knight was spending a lot of his time fighting in the team fight, doing a lot of hair damage. Out comes the Bro Shield, looking to deny a lot of the potential damage coming out. Great route, though, by Kel'Thuzad onto the Malfurion. Malfurion will most likely be going down. Down goes the Dragon Knight as well. And now the Nubarak looking for a potential stun. Great Rend of Vengeance, as well as a combo. Gonna land out onto the Dahaka. No dig. Indeed, we do have a dig now. Gonna be able to try and make it out the other way. Will fall. That's a two-man wipe for Trollin Blizz, and bringing some life back into this game. They're almost down 20. They saw they didn't have 20 yet. Great time to fight for them. And now, what an engage by Bags there. Just kind of take a guess there. But unfortunately, will get hooked, gorged, and then thrown over into the middle of nowhere. Forced into the bunker. Does get that 25 armor. Gonna looking for that dash. Will get the dash. Will he live? He will. Out comes the Jugs looking for the save. The hook going into the bush will not be successful. Oh my god, Bags. What a save. Great heals from Lucio and Lili. Wow. Great escape there.
Cup of 1,000 nopes right there, just denying that Blaze, and they wanted it so bad. Now granted, 20s to 18s, they still have talent tier advantage, but you can see that they're just trying to catch up with this as quickly as possible. Dahaka is now back. It is a full team. They're just trying to open up the map a little bit for themselves, get closer to 20s. Anubarak gonna burrow in once again, though, trying to take this fight, and it's not the best idea, as Anubarak is gonna get cleansed. Break It Down is used as well, but there's so much damage onto that backline. Silence comes out as well. So many members are low on mana. They need to back out of here as the bunker comes down. Gonna block a little bit, giving some armor as well. They're slowly chasing this as DJ Tyrant, I think, one of the tongue on to Mystic Shroud. We do have oh my god, a hook onto Anubarak. Gorge was used as well. There is the burrow. It is kind of stopped. I do think that is going to be the bug getting smushed, and that is a huge pickup for the members of Nexus Realm Power Heroes.
Yeah, I think the Gorge was a little overkill there. I'm not sure it was needed. I think they could have secured that kill without using it, but safety. Use it, get the kill. That's a 40-second cooldown or death timer right now. The opposing team does grab that camp, but you can clean it up real easy. Out come the shrines. You're going to be looking to grab that top, that bottom. You've already got somebody really close to the middle as well. Malfurion probably going to be making their way there, but Blizz going to try and challenge this to Haka. Brightwing and Haka going to have to try and defend this with their life if they do want this, and it looks to me like they might actually be able to do so, but unfortunately, they're just barely going to miss it. Solid Jake, unfortunately, not going to be able to grab it there, and great defense on that top. If Brightwing had just kind of waited a little bit longer, they might have had it, but a great stun there from Bags onto the Dahaka. Forced to burrow. Does he pop his essence? He does here. And out comes the Shadow Fissure. Will not connect as Nexus round Power Heroes being forced back into the fight. And Trollin Blizz going to have to back off, look for another fight somewhere else. They are still down level 20. They have to stall this Dragon Knight, or it could be GG here, especially with a big hook onto Lily. Going to be pushing her back over into the gate. The gates will absolutely say goodbye. That's one huge pick, no heals. Are they going to be looking to take the Dragon Knight here, or maybe going for some structures? Their core is under attack thanks to that keep being down in the bottom lane, sending a Nubarak to go and deal with that. I imagine this Dragon Knight will be getting picked up here right now by Roe. What do you think they're doing with this now, Baha?
Realistically, you just take this bottom. You've got catapult pressure. You've got 20 advantage. I'm starting to get worried on the side of Blizz. Trollin Blizz, like, this is potentially game ending. Now, granted, you could overstep a little too far. Maybe Kael'Thuzad gets a pull here onto one of the members, gets a blow up. Doesn't look like it's going to be happening just yet, as the Dragon Knight is going to be coming down this lane. Webwrap did go out onto the Vala. There isn't a lot of damage just yet. That is burned out right away. Kick went on to the Anubrak. There is the burrow in. There is a huge Shadow Fissure on top of that as Vala falls so low. They do get the Vala right away, but the silence comes out as well. Lily just going to be back from this fight, and she will be back alive, but they lose the Anubrak at the exact same time. Meanwhile, the Dragon Knight is just chunking this core. They're already down to about 75% as the cups come out, and they're trying to defend this. Bunker was used by Blaze. DJ Time so low, going to be falling here. Dragon Knight going to be falling low as well. The core is only at 40%, and I don't think they have the burn for this.
No, unfortunately, that Dragon Knight does not have the burn. You can see the attention of the Dragon Knight forced onto the hero, whether or not you're spamming that core or if you're clicking somebody else. That damage definitely needed to go onto that core, and unfortunately, it was split onto the heroes. A little bit split attention, but a great defense here by Trolling Blizz. They want this first place position. They want to take this win home, end the series, a best of 3 in 2 games. They want this win so bad. You can see it. The core getting down to 36%, and now they're looking to potentially move in onto the opposing team's core, at least bottom keep. I don't think they'll be able to get the core, especially with Vala back up. Poke damage from Vala will be a lot of damage coming out, especially with that auto attack if you are able to get some auto attacks here.
Now, this is a really strong push for them, but as you said, I mean, the death timers are so low at this point. I don't know how much they're going to get. If they can get the keep, that'll be huge for them. That takes off that bottom lane pressure. They're able to the waves will crash and naturally push themselves to the center. But at this point, most of the members are back. They back off. They get the front gate. They're not going to take this too far. Anubrak's just rotating back. Ooh. If Kael'Thuzad got that chain, I think it might have been a different push. But at this time, I realistically think they're going to have to back off and kind of play this safe here.
Yeah, hook coming out, unfortunately not going to be able to land on that Lily that was close by. That's a potential, if they do get a hook here into a Gorge, it's a potential turnaround into a fight. It's a big death timer, especially at 21 minutes into this game. You can see Trollin Blizz here looking for a fight, though. Big Shadow Fissure coming out. The double kill from Mystic. This is where Kael'Thuzad shines. Down will potentially go this Dahaka. Great route here. Great follow-up stuns. This is their chance to go into that bottom keep and end the game. Nobody falling on the side of Trollin Blizz here. They pick up a 3-for-0, sitting at 40-second death timers now. With Siege Giants and a wave, they are looking for another pick. They need this keep. The hook comes out, gonna pull the Blizz into the keep there, and they're just looking to end here.
I think they got it. I think with 20 seconds on their Vala, they've only got 2 members. It's a Stitches and a Malfurion. They're getting some damage. These guys are grouping up a bit. They need to spread out, but there's the web wrap that did go out. We have the Cup of 1,000 Jugs already being used. And I actually think it's maybe a Cup of 10,000 Jugs. These guys are chunking this core. That will be Troll and Blizz are going to be taking this after they defend their core. GG, well played.
What an absolute monster of a turnaround here. You see them playing it so defensively. The respawn timers coming up, going into the siege camp, and then just absolutely turning around and crushing that team fight. We saw Mystic a little bit earlier in the game struggling to get those stacks, but oh my goodness, they stack up and just served that damage to you on a silver platter. Just destroyed with a Shadow Fissure.
So I just want to point something out really quickly. I'm looking at the stats. Troll and Blizz never once got a Dragonite.
Yeah.
Vala was in the Dragonite for one of them. Malfurion was in one, and Brightwing was in one. Kel'Thuzad did 20,000 more siege than the Vala, and they never got a Dragonite. I was actually as we were kind of ending that game, I peeked over and we were just watching them try to burn down the core of Troll and Blizz, and I see people in chat I don't think Kel'Thuzad was a good pick, it didn't work with the composition. I'm like, just you wait, because I mean seriously, as I said, into that later half of the game, he started to pop off so insanely. But at this time, I do believe we are starting to get the members of the team. I think we just need bags, and yeah. I mean, those were phenomenal games. Congratulations to both you guys. But congratulations to Troll and Blizz. You guys take that first place. Your face says it all.
Sigh of relief.
Your face says it all right now.
Insane. We were way behind, almost 3 levels behind.
I got it. That last game was just so insane. But Styxa, go ahead with your questions.
What was the decision on that hyper carry pick? I'm very curious to see that. What was going through your mind for the Kel'Thuzad? 2 ice blocks, big chunky spell shield. Your only real target being Vala. Ideally, why Kel'Thuzad? I mean, it paid out clearly, but why?
We liked the CC he brought to the table, and we were kind of going for a CC heavy comp, and Mystic just really felt comfortable. That was his gut call there. There was no other rhyme or reason really beyond the CC, and Mystic's I'm feeling Kel'Thuzad here. That was his gut instinct.
Yeah, good gut instinct there. He started off a little weak, and I was kind of, taking him a little while to get there, but oh boy, we did turn that around. What were comms like there? Because I know you guys were backing off that keep. You guys didn't get the keep, and then you guys, hey, we'll settle for a siege camp, and then
I can actually,
yeah, please.
It's so they rezzed too quickly off the core attempt that we somehow managed to defend, and I'm still not sure how we did that, and they rezzed too quickly, so we couldn't get it. So we weren't sure. Do we go Bruiser Camp? Do we go Siege Camp? Do we go Bruiser Camp? Do we go Siege Camp? And we're like, all right, let's grab their Siege. And then they came hard charging for us. So we're like, all right, give them the Siege. And then Mystic just came out with a really good call. And he said, they're in a choke point, and that's to our advantage because Blaze and a Nubarak. So I was like, all right, here we go. And I smashed the E button. I said, big stuns coming up. And it worked. It just wombo comboed after that.
Mm-hmm. All right, Zex, what happened there, buddy? What happened? It was looking so good.
Well, I will say I was impressed with my hook accuracy that game.
Oh my God, your hooks were on point.
Yo, golf clap for that. I mean, dang, there were some hooks where I was just and a hook. Oh, they got someone and Gorge and over the wall dead.
That was the start of the game. I'm like, I think I go Gorge here because they got some squishy heroes with not much mobility. I was surprised I landed that hook on Alebeard, though. That one where I just snapped and I was like, oh, I got somebody here. But yeah, I was definitely aiming for Mystic with like every single hook. Like there was that one I nailed on him, and guess I got a Mystic with me. Let's go for a ride, bud. But
So
like
a couple times.
that last fight, after we were talking about it in comms, Carl said he fat fingered E, which is why the ball had jumped in. and he just came over to comms. He's like, guys, I fat fingered that. We're like, But yeah, no, we had an incredible lead.
I gotta say, when you got the hook onto Bags, I think actually when you're playing Blaze, right? He got the greatest game. He got the hook, the gorge, and he puts it behind the fort. And then I'm just watching, and I'm just like, no health, bunker. Oh, okay. Well, he's got bunker. Well, they're just gonna burn it down. And then Cup of 1,000 Nopes comes out. Like how? Just like what do you say to your team at that point? Is it just silence? Like I'm sorry. I don't. What like? How do you guys like? What is that all like? I mean,
when that happened, that was a butt clencher, PG-13. But I was like, all right, I'm gonna bunker immediately, and then I'm just gonna like, once it breaks, I'm charging out, and if it works, it works. So I charged out, and then I was like, all right, I gotta throw down some oil and like light it on fire, and that like gave me just enough time for Ailbeard to get the cups out, and it was just like, that was the great escape. And I was like, the moment we like got just out of that fort and like towards the siege camp, I was like, I should have died there. Like, because I was way out.
You got pretty lucky. Said the same thing. Yeah, if Zex was like the slightest of pixels over to the right, you would have collided with him, and goodbye. It would have changed. I would have changed that game output 100%. I think we would have been going into game 3 maybe.
Yeah, we were hoping for that game 3.
I was hoping for the game 3.
Oh, me too. I mean, no supports, Infernal Shrine. Let's go, please.
Yeah, that would have been pretty dope.
But I gotta say, I also gotta say really quickly on the first game on Warhead Junction, having that Dahaka and that split pressure when they drafted Nazeeba, was that a worry for you guys at all? Because he is a very late game hero. Warhead Junction is a very late game map. Was that ever something in the conversation like we need to shut him down? We need to watch for that? Because as that game progressed, Nazeebo really started to become quite a nuisance for you guys.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like, I'll openly admit, Mystic just clowned me in the bot. Like, I had to back like 3 times. I will openly admit, Mystic just ran circles, danced a jig on my face.
There was one time when I saw you got a tongue onto him and you dragged him to almost your fort because the gate was already gone. And then he ran all the way down lane and someone else came down to like try and kill him. And he left with like under 100 health, like just the sliver you can't even see on the screen. Like, I got to say, like, the games that you guys played were phenomenal. And just got to give kudos to both teams because you guys, for being, you guys don't all typically play together normally, and you guys all came together for this. This is phenomenal, and the level of play between these two teams is highly competitive, I do have to say.
Yeah, it was like competitive. Like Warhead Junction, we kind of like misplayed pretty hard. Their macro was just like out of this world. I was like that was our main problem. Like we got like when we got all those nukes and they took top boss, we were like, well, crap. that was a really decent. And then you guys grabbed bottom boss, and we're like, okay, we're just getting out macroed right here.
Funny side story with that is when you guys were doing that, and we're like, they're gonna grab, because you guys were in top lane at the time, and we're like, they're doing top boss. And then when we saw you guys went nukes instead of the boss, we're like, I think we can grab the boss. Let's do it. And then we all dove in there.
You guys walked right through the minion wave, though. Like,
yeah, we saw that, and we're like, "Oh God, they're grabbing top boss. Just get the nukes."
Yeah.
we considered going around, and we were like, "No, we'll be able to clear it before they get to us." So we're just going for it, and we just, I don't know.
Yeah, lucky.
I will admit that game, after I nuked down top fort and you guys all went on me, my butt was clenched.
I don't know how you survived that.
I could have made diamonds with how hard I was clenched.
It was perfectly calculated. I have a little damage over time. If I burrow, it mitigates that damage. I got some essence.
Oh no,
it was.
Yeah, no, the burrow doesn't mitigate the damage, but I had like 9 essence, and I'm like, God,
that's all it was?
Yeah, I just had 9, and it was just enough.
Seriously?
To nullify the poison damage and keep me alive. And I was like, oh wait, I burrowed to the bottom. I might as well grab this nuke. They're all top.
God, what what a great series. Just some great like clench moments. Just some like, oh boy, what's gonna happen? Just like you don't know what's gonna pop up within the next like 2 seconds. And that's one of the best parts about casting these kind of things. It's competitive play with some interesting twists. Great games, both games for sure.
It was,
I gotta say,
intense.
Phenomenal matchups. I mean, from everyone, from Geeks of Gangs, Troll and Blizz, Nexus Realm Power Heroes, and Lords of the Hype Forge. Like, you guys, I mean, casting and watching all day, you guys blew me away. These were so much fun. I hope, and I kind of heard, I think I heard Daz mention that they might want to try and do this again in the year. So hopefully, if you guys will have me back, this was an absolute blast, and I would love to just, even just watching it, you guys just. The games, the modes. This was an absolute blast. But as we kind of wrap up the interview, anyone last shout outs you want to give?
Zexorus.
Oh, okay. You're gonna let the second place guy go first. I gotcha. I want to give a shout out to Trolls GG. Like they put on an amazing show today. This was just tight, well done, except for the ARAM that went 40 minutes.
I don't think that's on production though.
But no, I had a blast. We all had a blast. This was just a great time. And I guess like in the movies, the villain doesn't win in the end.
See, there's our moral of the story. It's an 8-hour movie we just did, I think.
Yeah, a little bit more, I'd say. It started at like 1, so we're looking at 10 Hours roughly.
Intermissions. But
Yeah,
Bags, any shout outs you want to give as well?
Just to the Heroes community in general, and particularly the content creators and everyone that came together to do this. I know I personally, at one point or another, and I don't anymore, but at one point or another, I've listened to every single Heroes podcast that took part in this. Yep. I've read Elbeard's articles. I listened to Row Maintenance from Row. Thank you for everyone coming together and do this. It was a blast. And for those of you that are watching right now and don't currently listen to some of the shows or read some of the content that's produced by these people that partook in the tournament today, consider giving it a look. It's really great stuff, and that's why it's part of the reason why the Heroes community is so great.
I will say this on a quick note, just to kind of piggyback off of that. A year ago, I used to sit in an office and I would listen to the podcast during my entire workday. That is basically how I got through work. I used to sit there and listen to Solid Jake. I listened to Lords of the Storm. There's so many different ones that I would just pop around. And then there's articles too. Like that was my lunch break, was just reading Here's the Storm articles, because that was the way I got through the day. So exactly that. If you're ever looking for something like, man, I'm so bored at work and I'm done listening to the same 60 songs on the same playlist, open up a podcast, dude. Like it's good. Great conversations, jokes. Some, there's some do little game shows. Like every podcast is different. You should basically try them all.
All right.
But I do believe that is going to kind of wrap it up for us here on the stream.
Yeah. So we'll go into the giveaway. I see everybody kind of typing it all up there in the chat there. So #KT trumps Vala. That's the giveaway code. I know you guys are all typing it in there. We'll do that as a giveaway. There are 6. There are 6. Maiev, Xenotech Abathur, Mechaterial, Mecha Rhaegar, and 2 lunar loot chests to give away. We'll be doing that as well. And on behalf of Trolls GG and myself, and I'm Bahamut definitely coming in here today, Blizzard supplying these codes for you guys here, putting us on the BattleNet launcher. Absolutely massive shout out to Blizzard for supplying those codes for all of you guys and for making this event possible to be on. And there was 130 viewers at some points today. That's a lot of people to come in. So thank you so much for making that happen. Blizzard, great to come in and support the cause and supporting all of these creators around. And just it's a huge event that goes on, and it's a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to some more in the future.
Definitely. And this was an absolute blast. I got a message like 2 weeks ago. It's like, hey, do you want to cast this? And I'm like, heck yes, because I was like, I saw all the people, and I'm like, I've seen this in the. Oh my god, yes, please. So I'm like honored and just this was so much fun. But as we're about to kind of wrap this up for us, Styxa, where can people find you?
All right, so if you guys want to keep an eye on me, you guys can find me at Twitter at StyxaYT. Or on Twitch, which is twitch.tv/Styxa, STYXA. Looks like Liquid's already hooked us up here, so thank you. But that's where you guys can find me if you guys are looking to find me, indeed. And Baha, where can they find you?
So yeah, you can find me twitch.tv, Twitter, anything, just Bahamut Gaming. Just go ahead, just punch that into Google and hit all the follow buttons. I do a lot of casting, NGS, Chair League. I'll do the Heroes on the Heroes Hype stream. I'll do the Open Division here and there. Working with Heroes Hype, doing all that kind of stuff. So check out the Heroes Hype content. Check out all these guys' content. Everyone, and just the biggest shout out that I do have to give is the people that never get seen, never get heard. Liquid, who literally sat there during drafts telling us what's lore, what's not, what's in the band, what's out. Like literally, he ran the entire production. And shout out to Daz and everyone who puts this on. And they don't really, they're not the forefront, they're not the faces or anything. You always have to shout out the production in the background. Just beautiful, and thank you guys so much. But I do believe this will wrap up the Spring 2018 content Creators of the Storm tournament, and this was an absolute blast. We had Trollin, Blizz take the grand finals and win first place.
How appropriate.
I gotta say, thanks so much for casting with me, Styxa, and I do believe this is the end. And thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great night.